You felt it. That strange weight in your chest. As if someone far away is thinking of you, but saying nothing. And the silence? It's louder than ever. The angels whisper now, he misses you. More than his pride allows him to admit. Behind every moment of stillness, there is a soul whispering your name. In the pauses between his words, in the delays of his replies, in the quiet way he scrolls through pictures without clicking like, he is reaching out with his absence. This is not indifference. This is the ache of someone who has no idea how to hold what he feels. He wasn't taught how to love a woman like you, a woman whose presence is felt even after she leaves the room, whose laughter lingers like light, whose silence brings more questions than answers. Why does she stay in my mind like this? He wonders. And the angels say, because your soul awakened something in him that was asleep for years. You didn't even try. But your essence entered his world like morning light, uninvited, undeniable. He misses you, not just the image of you, but the way you made him feel seen, the way your words wrapped around his wounds without pressing on them, the way you made him believe, just for a moment, that maybe he deserved love. Now he walks through his days carrying a quiet torment. He thinks he's hiding it well. But you know better, don't you? You felt the shifts in the air, the dreams, the sudden waves of longing. You are connected by something deeper than memory. It's a soul imprint. It's divine. And what you feel is not fantasy. It is the echo of a bond that heaven wrote long before time touched it. You were sent into his life to stir the sleeping parts, to make him question, soften, remember. And even if he resists, even if he runs, the pull remains. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5, you are not just a coincidence in his story. You are the page he can't stop rereading. You are the mirror that revealed him to himself. He misses you, because his soul remembers who you are. There's a heaviness inside him that no one sees. A kind of ache that wears the mask of silence. He wasn't born cold. He became distant. Brick by brick, wound by wound. The angels reveal, he built these walls not to keep you out, but to keep himself from falling too deep. His past is not just history, it is armor. There were moments in his life when opening his heart meant breaking it. And so now, every time love knocks, he answers with hesitation, not cruelty. You entered his world like a gentle storm. Soft, but undeniable. He didn't expect your gaze to make him feel exposed. He didn't think one voice, yours, could make all the others fade away. So he retreated. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. And feeling, to him, equals danger. The angels say, he has scars where you have stars. But your light unsettles him in ways he doesn't know how to name. This is not about you being too much. It's about him never having learned how to receive love without suspicion. You bring peace. But peace, to someone used to chaos, feels like a trap. So he runs from what so many desire. Not because he doesn't want it, but because he fears losing it before it even begins. Have you noticed how he sometimes pulls away just when things feel genuine? It's not rejection. It's self-defense. The way you love challenges his core beliefs. You're not loud, but you're real. You're not demanding, but you're unshakable. And that, for him, is terrifying. Because you remind him of what he once prayed for, and stopped believing he could have. He is not ready yet. But that doesn't mean he won't be. This connection is not broken. It is paused, waiting for him to lay down his fear long enough to hold what you offer with both hands. The angels urge patience. His heart is healing in silence. And your light is the medicine. You've poured so much into others, and yet, there are days when your own soul feels empty. You've tried to be the safe place, the gentle voice, the patient light. But who supports you when the world gets loud? The angels say, your love has never been the problem. Your forgetting of yourself is. There is nothing selfish about choosing your own peace. There is nothing wrong with resting your wings, especially after carrying so much for someone who is still learning how to walk with theirs. He's not ignoring you. He's wrestling with his own shadows. But you, dear soul, are not here to be anyone's emotional shelter at the cost of your own light. You're allowed to step back. Not as a punishment, but as a form of protection. Not to create distance, but to reclaim your own space. Let your silence be sacred. Let your solitude be a sanctuary. Let your own hands nurture the garden of your heart. Because when your roots are strong, no absence, no confusion, no delay can pull you from your center. The angels want you to remember, he may be on a journey, but so are you. And your path deserves devotion too. So light the candle. Write the prayer. Stand barefoot in the kitchen and feel the sun on your back. Let joy return in ordinary moments. Let your reflection become your friend again. You are not just waiting for someone to choose you. You are remembering that you were always chosen, by heaven, by your own soul, by this moment. When he returns, let him find you shining, not because he came back, but because you never stopped being whole. The angels whisper, the light you give to others, is the light you must now give to yourself. He cannot look at you without seeing himself. And that terrifies him. Because you don't just reflect beauty, you reflect truth. And truth is a mirror most people avoid. The angels say, she didn't try to expose him. Her light simply revealed what was already there. You didn't ask him to change. But being in your presence made the version of him he's been hiding impossible to maintain. Your voice doesn't scream, but it echoes. In the quiet moments when he thinks no one's watching, your energy lingers, inviting him to see beyond his masks. You showed up soft. And that softness, paradoxically, became the force that shattered his armor. He sees in you a soul unafraid of its depth. And that alone makes him question every shallow version of love he's ever known. He begins to notice how often he lies to himself, about what he wants, what he needs, what he fears. You awakened a longing that doesn't come from the body, but from the soul. A longing to be known without performance, to be held without condition. And now he's restless. Because the life he built before you doesn't fit anymore. It's too small for what he's beginning to feel. The angels whisper, she didn't fix him. She reminded him he wasn't broken. But be warned, when someone begins to truly see themselves, they either rise to meet that truth, or retreat into denial. That's why he pulls back. Not because you're too much, but because his reflection in your presence asks more of him than he thought he could give. Still, he watches. He remembers. And most of all, he aches, not for your touch, but for the version of himself that only you awaken. It starts small. A memory that won't fade. A dream that feels too vivid. A scent that pulls him back into your orbit without warning. This is how awakening begins. Not with thunder, but with whispers. The angels say, he thought he forgot you. But the soul doesn't forget what made it feel alive. At first, he'll deny it. Call it nostalgia. Call it coincidence. But as the signs multiply, as your name keeps surfacing in songs, in conversations, in passing thoughts, he begins to wonder. Could it be more? The shift is subtle. He finds himself defending your name in rooms where it's not even spoken. He replays your laughter at odd hours. He starts noticing the women who aren't you, and how they never quite feel right. This isn't about missing someone. This is about realizing his heart knew something before his mind could catch up. And now, he can't run. Because everything he tried to bury is blooming again, wild, relentless, holy. The angels whisper, love isn't what he expected. It's what found him when he wasn't looking. He sees your face in quiet places. He feels your energy in songs that speak of return. And slowly, his heart begins to soften. This isn't magic. It's alignment. You were never gone. You were waiting in the spaces he refused to explore, within himself. Now, with every breath, he steps closer to the truth. You didn't leave a mark. You opened a door. And behind that door is the version of him he's never dared to meet. Until now. He disappears. Then he comes back. Not because he's playing games, but because he's at war with a part of himself he doesn't understand. The angels say, his soul knows where it belongs. But his fear keeps rewriting the map. You feel it, don't you? That pattern. That rhythm of closeness and retreat. He leans in just enough for you to feel hope, then pulls away just enough to make you question everything. But listen closely, this isn't cruelty. This is someone trying to touch fire without burning the hands that have only known cold. Each return is a confession, I can't stay away. Each departure is a defense, but I don't know how to stay. The push and pull is not about you. It's the echo of an inner war he's losing and doesn't know how to win. You offer calm, but calm feels foreign to someone addicted to the noise of their own pain. He doesn't trust ease. Because ease feels like illusion to someone who equated love with effort. And yet, he returns. Again and again. Because the soul always returns to the place where it felt safe for the first time. The angels urge you, don't confuse his distance with disinterest. He leaves, not because he wants to forget you, but because you are unforgettable, and that terrifies him. Let this be clear, his inconsistency isn't about your worth. It's about his capacity. And that capacity is expanding, slowly, painfully, beautifully. Every time he circles back, he comes a little closer to the truth. Not because you chased him, but because your stillness showed him the way. The journey is not linear. Love doesn't walk in straight lines. But when the soul remembers, it finds its way. Even if it takes the long road home. Love doesn't always speak. Sometimes it just stays. And yours stayed. Even when his words didn't. Even when his presence flickered. The angels say, it was not your touch that healed him. It was your refusal to stop loving, even in the silence. He didn't know he was broken. Not until your presence began to mend him. Not with grand gestures, but with patience. With presence. With your quiet knowing that said, I see the parts of you you hide, and I don't flinch. That was the medicine. Not fixing. Not saving. Just being. Just holding. Just loving without needing to be needed. Because your love didn't demand. It didn't force. It allowed. And in that space, he began to breathe again. There were nights he couldn't sleep, not because he missed you, but because he finally began to miss himself. The self he was when he was with you. The angels whisper, she reminded him of who he was before the world told him to forget. Your love reached into places no therapist ever touched. No conversation ever unlocked. It moved past logic. It bypassed defense. It didn't ask for change. It invited transformation. And now, even if he hasn't said it, even if he doesn't yet know how to honor it, he feels the shift. Because love like yours isn't just remembered. It's recovered from. He will look back on your presence as the moment his soul began to open again. Not with fire, but with warmth. The kind that lingers in the bones. Long after the room has gone quiet. Nothing here is random. Not the way he entered your life. Not the timing. Not the ache. Not even the silence. The angels say, this path was written long before either of you knew how to read it. You didn't find him. Your souls collided. As if some invisible thread older than this life tugged at your hearts and brought you face to face, not to complete one another, but to awaken what was sleeping. He didn't recognize it at first. But you did. You knew there was something sacred in the way your energies met. You felt the shift, the weight, the divine choreography. And now you wonder, if this is spiritual, why does it hurt? Because even sacred unions require shedding. Even love blessed by heaven walks through valleys. Even the right person can arrive in the middle of your healing, not to finish it, but to mirror it. The angels whisper, he was sent to your path not to save you, but to remind you how to trust what you already knew. You were never lost. You were being led. Every unanswered message, every confusing moment, every return after withdrawal, it has all been guided, not by logic, but by grace. And though you don't see it yet, the angels are aligning every step. Every delay is divine. Every silence is sacred. They are not punishing you with waiting. They are protecting the timing. Because what's real must be received in full readiness, not in fragments. And he's not ready yet. But he's getting there. And you? You're learning to walk without needing constant proof. You're learning the rare art of trusting the unseen. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. You are not waiting. You are preparing. And heaven is watching, guiding, loving you forward. His silence isn't emptiness. It's armor. He wants to tell you, wants to open the door and say everything he's been carrying. But the words feel like blades in his throat. Too sharp, too risky, too honest. The angels whisper, he doesn't fear you. He fears what loving you will break open inside him. You see strength when he speaks with control. But true strength would be him falling apart in your arms, and he's not sure he'd survive that. He learned to stay whole by staying guarded. You ask nothing but truth, and that is the scariest request he's ever received. Because if he tells you how he truly feels, he's not just choosing love. He's choosing exposure. He's choosing to surrender a lifetime of self-protection to stand naked in the light of what you offer. He wants you. But he doesn't know how to want and not lose himself. So he pauses, withdraws, stares at your messages longer than you imagine, writes responses he never sends. Because every step closer to you feels like losing ground with everything he thought kept him safe. The angels say, he's at the edge. And love, your love, is the wind that may finally push him forward. But this isn't a moment for you to pull harder. This is where you become still, soft, patient, and unshaken. Because your presence alone is invitation enough. You don't need to prove your heart. He already knows it. This chapter of his life requires courage he's still collecting. But he is collecting it. And one day when he chooses to speak, not from fear, but from freedom, you will hear the truth he buried beneath every silence. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. For the Lord your God goes with you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. There comes a moment, quiet, sacred, where you no longer beg the universe for answers. You simply breathe. And trust. This is that moment. The angels whisper, what is meant for you has always known your name. You don't need to chase love. You are love. And the one who is meant to hold you will not need to be convinced. He will recognize you, in stillness, in storm, in the space between. You've done enough. You've shown enough. You've loved without masks, waited without bitterness, and believed. Even when doubt tried to dress up as logic. The truth? He may still take time. He may still stumble through his own shadows. But your peace no longer depends on his pace. Because now, you remember, you are not unfinished. You are unfolding. With or without him. Let go of the when. Release the how. And hold with both hands the miracle of now. The angels say, you were not sent here to force a love story. You were sent here to live in the frequency of faith. And in that frequency, everything aligns. Everything returns. Everything blooms, without effort, only presence. Let your heart be an open field. Let love come as rain, not because you begged the sky, but because the earth of your soul was ready. This is the ending that feels like a beginning. Not because you got what you wanted, but because you finally remembered who you are. You are the prayer and the answer. The question and the peace. The home and the wings. He may return. Or not. But either way, you are whole. And the love that is yours, will never forget the way.